Thank you, Josh. And as he just told you, my name is Amanda, and today we are talking about conflict in the workplace. We're going to take a couple of minutes and we're going to give you some tips with the help of Stephen Hobson on how to address these conflicts in the workplace. So the first thing that you're going to want to do throughout the whole process really is you're going to want to remain calm. You're going to want to keep a very logical and rational outlook on the situation and really try and see the other person's point of view. So when you address the conflict with the other person, bring up the vague subject of it and then see how they feel about the situation. Really allow the other person to talk. This way you can start to gauge their reaction. You can start to compare it to your own reaction to the situation. And you can start to mentally prepare and organize a list of what you are both noticing. So when the other person is talking, you are also going to want to take mental note of what they pointed out that your faults are, and you're going to want to admit to them, even if you initially think, no, that's not me, or that's a misconception. Maybe either explain or apologize for the situation. Say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize my behavior was as you have noticed. I will work on changing it. By admitting your own faults, you're telling the other person that you're willing to take some of the blame for the situation as well, and you're willing to work on it with them. And I'm sure most people would appreciate that, and they see that you're willing to really do what we all hate and point out your own flaws and apologize for them. It's hard to admit that you're wrong. So one thing that helps to keep morale up throughout the entire situation is if this individual is someone you may not get along with in your workplace, really try to keep a positive attitude and use positive visualization. By doing this, you can imagine this individual in doing something that they enjoy where, they're not a cranky coworker, they're, dad on the beach having fun with the kids. That way it makes them more relatable, it makes them more human, and it'll make the whole process go a lot easier. So when they are speaking, you are going to want to take some time even after the fact, and you're genuinely going to want to consider the other person's point of view. If it's behavior that one person is seeing, there's a chance that there are many others that are seeing the same behavior. So you don't want to continue behavior that is going to be offensive or come off as rude to other individuals. A great example of this is my last job I worked at. I was quiet, kept to myself, just kind of kept to my own, and a lot of people misconstrued this, and I had a lot of reports that I was unfriendly or standoffish, and that wasn't the situation at all. I was just very much in my own head, and I kept my mouth shut and did my job. So it's a situation where you're going to want to look at your behavior and say, well, why are they thinking this way about me? Because if you can get to the why of the situation, you can change your behaviors. So during this entire process, from start to finish, from addressing a conflict to resolving it, if behavior becomes abusive at all, stop the situation. If it's verbally abusive or physically abusive, stop the situation. Try and maybe disengage or just get away from the situation, because this will it won't get anything accomplished. Confrontation is the absolute enemy to resolving conflict. If there is abuse, just walk away. Just leave it for another day, or allow it to be mulled over by the other person. Maybe they didn't take these tips. They didn't consider the other person's point of view or admit their own faults. So they just became standoffish about the situation. That's when you just walk away. You say, I'm sorry for ruining your day. I'm sorry for upsetting you. I will talk to you later. Something along those lines. Just disengage and allow the other person to cool off, maybe think about the situation. So thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And next we have Christina with the causes of conflict.